Welcome back. In today's video we are going to fix my Fanatec round wheel. Unfortunately the pins broke off at the back here. We have the replacement part and we're going to see if we can fix this wheel ourselves. So as you can see from this video, we did get the wheel working, which is feeling great. We're just giving it a little bit of a banging on Dirt Rally 2.0 to see if everything's working, and from the test it does seem like this worked. We'll get into how I fixed it in a few seconds. Let's just give it a little bit more and make sure everything's working before we get into it. Now it must be noted that on the Crew Motor Fest I did have a little issue with my up and down button, but after a restart it seemed to work itself out. And here we go. So I just cleaned up the wheel a little bit, make it look nice and pretty, and then what we'll do is we'll start looking at what the problem is. So when you look at the back of the wheel, you'll see one of those pins are missing in there. The camera focuses, you'll see the right bottom pin is not there. It actually broke off in my base while I was racing Dirt Rally. When I took off the wheel, I just saw one of the pins sitting in there. What we're going to do now is just have a quick look at which kind of tools I need. It does have a few weird tools that it requires, but most people should have Allen keys and those little hex tools. We're just starting by removing the quick release. This is the QR light. I was lucky enough to get it with the wheel. I would love the full-on QR for both of my wheels, but this thing actually works pretty good. We'll just run through that, taking the screws off slowly. And there you can see that's how it looks without the quick release. We're getting closer to removing that pin. Did get a new tool, and we're releasing those small little screws that hold the plate that actually holds in the pin connector. You can see it is loose now since we removed the plate. Do not pull too hard on it, it's still connected inside the wheel. And this is where we start removing all the other screws from the wheel. It separates completely in the middle. There were quite a few screws, to be honest. Definitely need to be careful not to strip them. I did loosen them first and then came back and slowly started removing them all, one by one. Just be sure to check that you've removed all the screws. There were one or two that looked like they were removed, but they weren't, so just make sure that you did get all of them before you start pulling. It should actually release by itself, so there's no need to pull hard on it. You'll see that in a second. It starts separating, as I get all the screws out, and there you can see it's come loose. All by itself, no need to pull. We disconnect the pin connector from that base. Just be careful not to get the other LED cable, etc. And it's removed. Broken pin, you can see it there. We do have the new ones in the box. Very lucky to have found those. And you'll see it has all its pins. We run the cables through the hole again, and we'll reconnect it to the board. Make sure to click it in nice and solidly. Don't press too hard, but also do make sure that it clicks. Mine required quite a push, to be honest, but it clicked at last. You'll feel it. There you would have seen it's been connected. I felt the clip, and I just slowly start putting it back together again. It should fall perfectly in line. Everything is aligned, and you can see the difference between the two. Now it's time to start reassembling the wheel, making sure all the seams are nice and closed. There shouldn't be any gaps. If they are, you can sit it down and just reverse order of what you did to strip it. I made sure that the pin connector seats, apparently there are two different ones. I was lucky that I had both options. You could technically just shave off one of those little plastic pins if needed, but I'm glad I didn't have to. Start reassembling the lock plate there. Going in a circular motion again, as you'll see, and then I just make sure that all the screws on the back are nicely tightened. Also going in a sort of a circular motion there. You don't want one side to be too skew. And then just reinserting the quick release light. Exactly the same order we took it off. You'll see I also start locking them in a circular motion. You should also do star motion, but I did mix it up. I checked all the screws one last time, and then also the buttons, just to make sure they all click, they all feel good, solid. And there she is. We fixed it ourselves. That top is not a screw, it's one of those little seating pins that I was talking about. So there isn't a screw missing. Time to take off the F1 Formula style wheel, and we'll put that down nicely before we grab the round wheel. Also just checking those pins, they are all good, luckily. Really love that wheel. Time to grab the round wheel, push it on neatly. The first time required a little bit of a push. You'll see that now. There we go. And then you can lock it up. Time to start up the wheel. And it's working. Let's see if she calibrates. All good. Settings come up. Now it's time to test it. The interesting part for me was that I could actually feel the difference with the round wheel. It made this game, for example, so much more fun, and I'm really happy that we were able to fix it. Games like The Crew, Dirt Rally, they're so much fun on a round wheel because you can flip them around, get them into the drift. Look, it's doable with the Formula style wheel, but this is just good fun.
Me of the cars from my custom magazines.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and I'm so glad we got this wheel fixed. Here's to a lot more racing with it, and please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help. See you on the next one.
Yeah, she